You might have received an email from something called dgpricesettlement.com about a Dollar General class action settlement, and if you're wondering whether it's real, what it means, how much you could get, and when you need to act, you're not alone. A lot of people have been talking about the same emails, and many of them aren't sure whether it's legit or just another scam in their inbox. Some people were really confused at first because they never signed up for anything, and they wondered how Dollar General even got their email address. At its core, this settlement is about price discrepancies. Many Dollar General customers have experienced situations where the price on the shelf doesn't match the price that hits the register. You pick up an item that says one price and then get charged more when you check out, and that's frustrating. It's an issue that customers have been talking about for years, and now there's a proposed settlement that covers people who shopped at Dollar General stores in the United States between October 2016 and November 2025. That's nearly a decade worth of shopping, which explains why so many people suddenly saw something pop into their inbox. When you break down what the settlement actually offers, there are essentially two ways you could receive something. If you can show proof that you experienced an actual price overcharge, meaning you documented it at the time or filed a complaint with Dollar General or a government agency during the covered period, you might be eligible for a modest cash payment. People online are describing this as somewhere between about $10 or the amount you were overcharged, whichever is higher. You can file up to 2 documented overcharges per household, meaning you could potentially get up to around $20 or more if the actual overcharges were higher. This part requires proof, and that's where many customers hit a snag. A lot of users say they initially thought the email was a phishing attempt because they weren't familiar with the legal process around class actions. There's no central fund listed with a huge dollar sign next to it, and that made some people suspicious. Then when they tried visiting the settlement site, some reported that it didn't load correctly, gave warnings in their browser, or only worked on desktop and not mobile. That definitely fueled more doubts. Most people don't keep receipts from years ago or take photos of shelf tags every time the price was wrong, so when users talked about this, many shared that they had experienced overcharges countless times, but none of them had actual documentation. The proof needs to be contemporaneous, like filed at the time or documented at the moment of the discrepancy. That's a big reason why so many people feel like they're part of the class, but they won't actually qualify for the cash part. But even if you don't have proof of a specific overcharge, there is still an in-store benefit available. This allows you to register and receive a $3 discount on the first $10 of a purchase of at least $10 before tax, redeemable during a 2-day window at any Dollar General store. People are expecting something more serious, especially given how common pricing issues are at Dollar General. Still, this benefit doesn't require proof, and you remain part of the settlement class whether or not you file a claim. The claim form deadline for cash payments is April 13th, 2026. If you want to submit a claim with proof, you have to get it in by that date. The deadlines to opt out of the settlement or to object are earlier on March 2nd, 2026, and there's a final fairness hearing scheduled for March 19th, 2026. Now, even if the court approves the settlement at the fairness hearing, payments won't be instant. Within about 30 days after approval, settlement funds are supposed to be deposited into an account and issued to claimants. But some users have pointed out that in other class actions, the distribution of funds can take months or longer, especially if there are appeals or administrative delays. And any checks that are mailed will expire 60 days after they arrive, so that's something people say you need to watch for. At the end of the day, if you received an email about the Dollar General settlement, it's worth taking seriously, but with a clear understanding of what's actually being offered. For people who documented price overcharges in the past, there could be a small cash payout, but you need valid proof and you need to meet the claim deadline. For everyone else, the in-store benefit is a small $3 discount you can register for and use during the redemption window. The process isn't perfect, and parts of it have frustrated users, but the settlement itself appears to be a legitimate legal action rather than a random scam.